So is YouTube suggesting your videos? That's the question we all ask ourselves. And I'm going to actually show you how we can look in our analytics and we can see firsthand, is YouTube actually suggesting our videos? Now, the other thing I'm going to share with you is how we can also see if they're not suggesting our videos, how we can potentially improve this one metric. And from there, YouTube could start pushing our video. All right, so let's dig in. So I'm going to show you a couple of different examples. This one here is going to be one that has gotten a lot of impressions, a lot of views, but I'm also going to show you one that we just published the other day that has 3,000 views. So I'll show you at two different ends of the spectrum. So this way here, you can see not just a video that's performed well, but also one that is just starting out. So the first thing that you need to do in order to see if YouTube is actually suggesting your video is you have to go to the video and then go into the analytics, just like we are right here. So you can see we have all of the main metrics here on the overview. This isn't where we're going to find this, by the way, but this gives us all of our overview stats. What we want to do is we want to go here into reach. Once we go into reach, now this is going to give us all of the impressions. It's going to give us the entire click-through rate for the duration of the video. This video has been published just over a year, and you can see 366,900 views. So here's the step that we need to do in order to see how much YouTube is actually suggesting our videos. Is the traffic coming from suggested? So you're going to scroll down here, and then inside of here, we can see a percentage. We can see it's 6.8%. Now, that's not terrible with this many impressions. You're going to see in the other example of less views, less impressions on what that looks like. But what we want to do here is we want to go and click see more. From here, now what we're going to do is we're going to come right to here where it says suggested videos. And you can see this right here is the impressions that were given for suggested. Okay, so that right there alone, we can see browse is 4,527,000, and here it's 1,376,000. It's less, but it is being suggested. Now, one thing you'll find is that suggested is always going to be lower. And so in this case, this is pretty good, but it's always going to be lower. So don't expect you to have the same as in browse. Now, let me go ahead and sort this by first 24 hours. So this way here, you can see what it looked like the first 24 hours. And this is exactly what you can do for your videos as well. So just go ahead and click on 24 hours. And then here we can see 64,000 came from browse, but 14,000, almost 15,000 came from suggested. That's really, really strong. Now I want to highlight something here while we're on this screen, and that is this here, click-through rate. This is really, really important. And a lot of creators don't realize that your overall click-through rate is based off of all of the traffic sources. So we have all of these traffic sources here. Even though some of them might be small, like this is YouTube search, only 187 impressions in the first 24 hours, but it got a 6.4% click-through rate, which is really good. Playlists, 135 impressions, 3.7%. And you can see like these all vary. Now, here's what I will say is that when you're looking at these click-through rates, they are always going to be different per traffic source. And YouTube knows that. So YouTube might look at this here, your suggested videos, and go, okay, if it's over 2%, that's good for the amount of traffic in suggested for this channel. So everything is weighed differently. When if we just look back here at the overall click-through rate, it's 4.8%. If I go here to the first 24 hours, it was 7.7%. Now you might be asking, okay, well, it was a lot better then than it is now. That's true. But here's another thing a lot of creators don't realize is as you get more impressions, which means that YouTube is testing it to a lot more audiences, it expects your click-through rate to go down. So it's measured differently, and it's also taking in consideration these are colder audiences, so the click-through rate is going to go down. Now, do we know what those metrics are where they say, okay, that's good enough, let's test another audience? We don't know that. No one's going to know that, and if anybody tells you that they know that, they're lying. I'm sorry. Now, before I show you the next example, I want you to do something for me. I want you to pause this video. I want you to go over to your latest video or any video, and I want you to find your traffic source suggested. And I want you to, in the comments, let me know how many impressions did you get from the suggested traffic, and maybe include how long the video's been uploaded. I think it's just interesting for us to compare notes. And I think a lot of creators that come to this video, they'll want to know also, what are yours? What are mine? We can compare notes. Now, in this example, I'm going to be showing you a video that we published not that long ago, a couple days ago, and I'm going to show you on lower views, lower impressions, but how we can see still, is YouTube actually suggesting our video? So I'm going to go here to reach. I'm going to scroll down, see more, and then I'm going to go right here to suggested. And you can see 11,095 impressions came from suggested. So is YouTube suggesting our video? The answer is yes. If this was super low, then it would be like, it's not really testing it against suggested traffic. Now, suggested traffic could be done in a couple of different ways. You might be watching a video and then immediately after it's suggested, or someone's watching a video and then on the right-hand side, if they're on desktop, they will see other videos that are potentially of their interest. But now I'm looking at this here and our click-through rate is a 2.1%. So now I'd be asking myself, okay, I am looking at my analytics and I'm comparing notes. That's another thing that I'm always doing, is I'm comparing like what was another video with the similar amount of impressions, and then we can compare apples to apples. Well, in this case, 2% is pretty good for our channel for suggested. If we can get that above like a 2.5%, 3%, I believe that the video will get pushed harder to suggested, because it's proving that it's serving up the impressions, it's showing the video, and then people are clicking on it. And if that is happening, and then people are watching a good amount of that video, then YouTube will take that and they will use that data to say, let's push this out to bigger audiences or more cold audiences. Suggested is generally going to be to cold audiences that have never seen a video from you. And that's why the click-through rate is quite a bit lower. But again, YouTube knows this. Now, this is all good, right? That we're looking at, is it being suggested? But we all just want more impressions from browse, from suggested, from all of the different traffic sources. And how do you do that? How do you get more impressions? Well, the only way that I know that has worked consistently over my last 17 years here on YouTube, I can tell you this: title is number one. And title will do the job of getting it in front of people so YouTube knows who it goes to, but it also is something that will get clicked on more. And that's why if you're struggling to get impressions, you got to start with that title. And that might be a title change that could instantly get you more impressions. I've actually put together a swipe file that I refer back to from time to time as these frameworks that have really worked. And I'm giving that swipe file away. If you'd like a copy, just comment hooks down below and I'll send you 10 of the top 10 outlier titles that we've used on this channel and other channels to get hundreds of thousands of views. If you'd like that, just comment hooks down below and I'll send it to you. So now that you know how to see if your videos are actually being suggested, now you can work on better titles, better thumbnails, and things like that. Now, analytics can get very overwhelming, and I know that, but there's really only 4 areas that you need to keep an eye on to really understand them so you can get more views, get more impressions, get more clicks. I shot a video right here that goes over the only 4 metrics that I watch that actually help me understand if the video needs help or if it's doing what it's supposed to do. Watch that video next, and I'll see you there.